Hi there. Just a quick video update on me living in my RV over this past winter or whatever. You know what, technically it's still winter, I guess. It's not so much here on the island. Summer's, spring is pretty much is right there. It's early, mid-February kind of thing. And things tend to warm up here pretty quick, as warm as it ever gets. As I've said before, Vancouver Island, Canada, temperatures are very moderate here. During the winter, about 5 degrees Celsius. In the summer, 25 degrees Celsius. The difference between winter and summer is 20 degrees. Not a huge difference when you look at the rest of Canada. Anyway, so far this winter's I've done it pretty easy mode. I've been working quite a bit at a real job. So I kind of decided, you know what, I really don't have time to be looking for spots to park at night or whatever, so I went ahead and got myself a spot at an RV park. And it's actually the same place as I was living when I was living on my boat. They also have an RV park. So it's kind of like being at home. I know the people there. I know how they run the place. I really like it. It's not like they're a bad landlord or anything like that. They're really nice to deal with. I like being there, so it's all good, and it's very convenient for getting to and from work. More importantly, I have fresh water, power hookups, 30 amp, quite a bit of power for me, that way more than I need. 10 amp would probably do me fine. Anyway, I do have those power hookups, so, I did have a power hookup when I was living on a boat, so it's kind of similar that way in the experience. That being said, wintering in an RV is way easier. It just is. The humidity problem just kind of, when you're hooked up to 120 and you've actually got a little heater going or whatever, I just make sure I have some ventilation going and it pushes all the dampness out. It's bone dry in here when I'm hooked up to 120. Now, I've been out here this is my third day out and it's pretty much rained nonstop. This is the first time it hasn't rained. So I figured, you know what, well, it's quiet and it's still morning, I'd get this video done so I can get outside and play in a little bit. It's only 8:30, so I got a little bit of time. It's going to be raining and off and on all day probably, but that's okay. I got the awning out, and just as long as it isn't too hard, I can hang up some targets and have some fun, so we're all good that way. But anyway, I figured I'd get this video shot because I haven't done one on my RV stuff in a while. I did take time to throw some really thin insulation over all my rear windows and whatever to give me a bit of insulation, and again to try and keep the humidity down. When I'm hooked up to 120, do I need it? Not really, to be quite honest. It's probably better as a bit of a sound barrier and a little better for privacy than just a thin curtain like this thing has, particularly when you're in an RV park. Not that it matters. Anyway, yeah, I guess really what I wanted to say was I figured it'd be about the same as living on a boat. It's actually a lot easier in the winter being in an RV. So just something to think about, particularly if you do have 120. Now, out here, like I was saying, if I'm running propane or whatever, I'm back to the usual fight with moisture. It's going to build up, particularly at night. If I let the heat drop and close it up a little bit, I'm not getting as much air movement in and out, and moisture will build up in here. The morning I turn the heat on, open up a vent or two, and push the moisture out. Of course, the first thing I do is start cooking and making a coffee, so that's dumping a lot of moisture in here along with the heat, so that kind of adds to my problems, but I want my coffee right away, so I'm not waiting for things to warm up in here. That's the first thing that goes on is the kettle for coffee. And that's the way I like to make it, so that's not going to change. Anyway, actually looks like we got some sun burning through, so I think I'll cut this video here. I've got lots of work coming up. I was lucky to get a few days off or whatever, so I kind of got out of town as quick as I can, but I'm probably going to be working for the next month or two pretty solid, so who knows when I'll get another video out, but by and large, things have been going pretty good as far as living in the RV. I like it. I'll probably keep doing this. Probably not going to go back to living on a boat until my job situation is much, much more secure. And really, I can't see that happening with the economy the way it is at this time. It's February 2016. Take a look at the markets right now. If it's a year from now, you might say, whoa, you had it good then, it's only gotten worse. Or you may say, hey, it's gotten a lot better. Hopefully that's the case. Hopefully it'll get better the next year. But basically, I'm not going to sign up for boat ownership or having a slip until I kind of know what the economy's doing. Because this, you know what, this is a real cheap mobile way to live. If I need to take off somewhere for work, I can do that. And I like that ability. And I'm not signed up for anything. Living at the RV park, it's pretty much month by month, and it's not a whole ton of money comparatively, so I'm not really out anything. There's no separate hydro bill or anything like that. It's just one bill and everything's covered, including cable, which is kind of cool. I've got wicked good internet there too, which is hilarious. Love having that. So uploading videos will be really good. And so, ironically, the time when I have the easiest time for uploading videos, I have no time to actually shoot the videos. So there you have it. Sorry if this video is kind of dark, but I don't really have any lighting options at this point, so there it is. Probably do a few videos outside about a couple rifles or whatever. One just before I sell it. I like to do a video. If I have a rifle I still kind of like, but I'm going to sell because I don't have room, I'll do a video just to kind of remind myself about it and whatever, and get the word out whether it's good or bad. And I need to do a few of those today anyway. Anyway, from Vancouver Island, have yourself a great day.